So we opened the accessory pack in an MRE, and we're going to just mention the other things before we get to MEG. MEG is very important. MEG is full of energy. The bags, these hot beverage bags, they allow you to put really hot liquid in to make coffee and different things like that. These are excellent quality bags. You can even buy these separate, and they're just really strong bags. So I'm going to just use this to put things back in. Okay, we have our toilet paper. Could be used for starting fires too. And of course, along the scheme of fires, we have matches. And these are matches which are designed to be able to get a little bit damp and still work. But if they're exposed a long time to dampness, they're not going to work. Then I'm going to have moist towelette. I wonder if that's alcohol-based. I don't see where it says that, just because sometimes if they're, oh, it's latex-free. Would they all be latex-free? I guess not. If they have enough alcohol in them, you can light them directly. Now we have a salt and sugar. The sugar has a use for starting fires. I'll do that in another video. Then we've actually got our beverage orange base type 3. This stuff, if you do Kool-Aid, some of the cheap fruit punches that you get, that's exactly what this tastes like. But since it's type 3, maybe we better give them a chance and try it out before we say it's horrible. We get a creamer again for the coffee, and so we have the thing for the coffee. We do in fact have 2 freeze-dried coffees. People tell me these are good. Bill's Brew. I don't do coffee, but I have people in the house who do. So this is what we're talking about. It looks like chiclets. It is gum, and it's in this red envelope. Why is it in the red envelope? Because it's MEG. It's military emergency gum. Okay, this is gum that has, I've got my notes below. If you see me looking below, I'll just say it so that you won't say, oh, he's reading off. I told you I'm reading off things. Each piece has 100 milligrams of caffeine in it. Now, I could tell you, and it's designed this way because it's going to get into your system quicker by chewing it and keeping that in your mouth. It's going to absorb directly into your tissues rather than like you take a caffeine pill, say, or coffee or whatever, that goes down in your stomach, and it has to go through the circulatory system, and finally it gets to doing its job. Well, this absorbs much quicker because the caffeine stays in your mouth and absorbs through the most tissues. They have specific guidelines for using this, of course. I've had people get more than this, but they probably put them in, randomly put them in, some MREs. But the use is that you have these 2 pieces. You take one piece and you chew it for 5 minutes, then you wait 15 minutes. So then you assess how alert you are. And if you're not alert, you chew another piece. Okay? But its limit is 2 pieces within a 3-hour period. Okay? No more than 8 pieces in 24 hours. That's 800 milligrams of caffeine. I assume those soldiers, they're young, they're tremendous amount of physical exertion. So I bet this caffeine bumps them out and gets out of their system quickly. Why I mention that is I've been experimenting a little with caffeine, and I have some of these pills that you can take. I gave up soda, and come to find out, I was drinking a bunch of caffeine each morning, and caffeine, besides keeping you alert, helps to eliminate pain to some degree. So, but I found that these are the same dose as this relatively inexpensive caffeine pill you can get. And so if I consume these now, well, no, I'll make it even worse. I find this, if I consume these at 6:30 in the morning, I won't be able to sleep till 11 or 12 o'clock at night. That's how much caffeine is left in my system that late. But you can tell I'm not not superly energetic, not fit and old and decrepit. So be warned. For civilians, they recommend a maximum of 4. So they're getting the soldiers away with saying, well, 2 pieces, 8 pieces in 24, 800 milligrams. But civilians should only have 4 pieces in 24 hours for a total of 400. And that's to prevent excessive caffeine intake and potential side effects. Now, a side effect. I worked for this guy, in this company, and I got friends with this one guy. And, I'm working second shift, and it was hard to get adjusted to it. And so I would try to use these caffeine pills in it. It didn't work, made my stomach hurt, different things. But this guy told me that he had been doing things. He'd been driving trucks at one time. And he would use caffeine a lot. And there's one time he was doing it, was using it quite a bit, and he suddenly noticed there was a huge tree in the middle of the road, planted right there, really big, and he knew if he hit that, his life would be over. It was huge. The trunk was huge. So he pulls over, and he's like, oh, I'm glad I missed that. He looks back, there's no tree at all. He had hallucinated it. And there's a recorded case of someone running the Iditarod, and again, they're taking caffeine. They stopped at one point and talked to villagers and, rested a while, all these different activities. They get to the end of the race, and he's talking about the people he met on the way, and he didn't meet any people on the way. It was all an elaborate hallucination. It was all the fact of having too much caffeine in the system. So it can cause you to hallucinate, at least if you have too much of it. There's some references to the side effects, but that's the one I've heard about. So this gum offers especially benefits for military personnel because it's rapidly absorbed, such as during the heat or desert operations. You can get it into your system really quick. It's been clinically proven to improve physical performance, alertness, thinking, and marksmanship in fatigued soldiers. So there you go. They've proved if you give one of these to someone in these situations, they're going to perform better. It's been recognized for its effectiveness with the U.S. Army's Greatest Inventions of the Year in 2005 and is recommended by the Committee on Military Research. So, wow. You can imagine, it's common that they have, coffee at work and everything. Well, and I've read some things about this too. Yes, that coffee does tend to increase productivity, but it all depends. You can get over to that edge where all of a sudden you get too much caffeine, or you're consuming it every day. That isn't good, I don't think. And I can tell you from my little experiment with doing it that 3 days of taking 200 milligrams of caffeine at 6:30 in the morning, my life was not that pleasant. After doing it for 3 days, I stopped. So I don't know if I'll try it again with like a quarter of a pill or whatever. But reading up on the half-life of caffeine and everything, it's still in a, if you take 200, there's still a substantial amount of caffeine in you. Now, if I was a person who did that, and then I went out and did, very physical work, or I was doing something like driving a truck where you really have to stay alert, and things like that, I have a feeling you'd still be able to sleep that next night. I could be wrong, but maybe someone, a truck driver, a military person, could help us on that. Okay, so it says it can, it can help physical performance and alertness. This is just the breakdown of it, with doses ranging. in maintaining cognitive performance during sleep deprivation with doses ranging from 1 to 600 milligrams per day. This is designed so you can take it in 100 milligram increments, which is considered the appropriate dose for sustained military operations. So, yeah, but within the guideline. So, really, if you had 4 of these with you as a non-military person, that would be your total dose for 24 hours. And you figure you probably 8 hours of that, hopefully you're able to sleep. You know, not being able to fall asleep can be quite a pain. You know, I've shared with people that I have sleep apnea quite bad, and you know, it's just not good. You have this machine on too, the CPAP machine. It's like this wheezing spider on your face while you're trying to sleep at night. But if you don't do it, you damage your heart. And we could talk about sleep apnea more some other time. So, and then they go on to say, when I'm actually, this is company, it's u.com. And this, what I'm reading are some notes that have been generated by artificial intelligence. And this is a pay application, and I'm just trying it for a month. But it's got a research. You can pick these different levels and things that it does. And you have a much wider access to different types of model. But in this research model, it generates some really decent things. And right here in this paragraph, talking about identifying it, it's in red plastic. It footnotes it with a 22, which means I've already mentioned 22 sources. So if anything seemed out of whack with something you're reading, or you're going to be thorough and check that they didn't make a mistake, which AI can a lot, and so you've got all the references. Okay, the broader applications are the MEG, the military energy gum, has applied to other professions that involve reduced sleep, such as night shifts, emergency services, and truck driving. This underscores the gum's utility beyond military context. So there you have it. Caffeinated gum in high absorption 100-gram packets. I wonder, I don't know what caffeine really tastes like. You know, when you swallow some pill, you're usually doing it with a liquid and you want to get it down quick, because sometimes these pills, that medicine can be really gross tasting. Even make you gag if you actually taste it, or it gets lower in your throat and stops. It can be bad. But maybe I'll taste it next time. But I've chewed this before, and I haven't noticed any off tastes at all. But there we go. Military energy gum, red envelope, in the accessory pack, MEG. Bye.